Vice President no choice but to sue American political influencer Candace Owens after she promoted a conspiracy theory claiming his wife, Brigitte, was born a man. According to the Times, Macron acknowledged the risk of drawing more attention to the smear, but said it had gained so much traction in the United States that he had to act. We're talking about the identity of the First Lady of France, of a wife, mother, and grandmother. It's a matter of defending my honor, Macron said. Owens, who has more than 4 million YouTube followers, mocked the lawsuit as goofy and a public relations stunt. But the Macron's 22-count suit filed in Delaware seeks punitive damages and a jury trial. Macron also criticized the Trump administration's free speech rhetoric, noting that it excluded mainstream outlets from White House events while elevating right-wing influencers like Owens. Okay, what's the real message here with Macron suing Candace Owens? I like Macron, but I think he's making a huge mistake. Nobody but a complete imbecile puts any faith in what Candace Owens says. Macron is creating the perfect PR blunder by putting a spotlight on idiocy and having 1,000 times more people hear about this issue than would have otherwise heard about this nonsense of the First Lady being a man. Let's dig a little deeper here. I'm certainly sympathetic to the Macron family. It can't be fun knowing that millions of people are hearing a message that you are not the gender you were that you say you are. So I'm sympathetic to this, and I'm happy to see Macron admit that he realizes there is the danger of this being something like the Streisand effect. And I believe that's referring to the time of Barbara Streisand. I believe she was having a wedding, heard paparazzi were coming, and she put out all these notices and bans, and it just brought out 10,000 more people who otherwise would have never heard about it. That is the danger if you are a well-known celebrity. You've always got to pick and choose. If you sued every single person who said something unpleasant about you or untrue, you'd never get anything done. And that applies not just to heads of state, but to little influencers. I mean, I get people saying unfactual things about me. I don't take the time to sue them. So it's a fine line. In my mind, based on what I know of this issue, this doesn't cross it. I would ask the Macrons to really think about how many people do they actually respect who are now thinking that Brigitte Macron was born a man. I have a hard time imagining that that's more than about 5. Yeah, there is the danger sometimes of falsehoods get out there, they get repeated often enough, they get enough amplification, there's no rebuttal, and people think, well, they didn't rebut it, it must be true. Now, the Macrons have rebutted this, but this Candace Owens, and I've never seen her work, I hope not to. She seems like a real piece of work where she relishes just needling. I mean, she's the classic modern conservative troll. Facts don't matter. Truth doesn't matter. If you can take something, poke, prod, anything to irritate somebody who appears to be a centrist, moderate, left of center political figure or cultural figure, anything you can do to anger them, it's a win. That appears to be her attitude. If there are any Candace Owens fans out there who feel like I've really gotten it wrong, then go ahead. Feel free to correct me. You can post your comments right here. I do read all comments. But that appears to be the working operating principle, not only of Owens, but basically all the right-wingers out there. The few honest conservatives are in the never Trumper camp, and it's very hard for them to gain enough audience. Although the folks at Bulwark, and there are a few places that do. But by and large, the easiest way to make money today in the online space is to just make up wild, crazy accusations about anyone in public life who is not a MAGA right-wing conservative. That's the easiest way to make money, because you'll outrage people. All the people on your team will say, oh yeah, that's right. And they'll click it and they'll share it and they'll like it and they'll add comments. Way to go. You own the libs. That's the easiest way to make money. And truth, fact checking, it's not that that's a low priority. That's on the do not do list if you want to make money as a conservative pundit, a conservative podcaster, commentator, and Candace Owens seems to know that. So Look, would I love it for Emmanuel Macron to win this case, bankrupt her, put her out of business, force her to go back to doing something honest? Maybe she could be forced to do community service as a fact checker at a library, if she knows what a library is or if she could find one. I don't know, but I'm doubtful. I mean, I've seen a serial liar like Alex Jones lose lawsuit after lawsuit. Seems like he's bigger than ever. There's always some right-wing billionaire to bail him out. There's always some bankruptcy court that you can twist this and put assets there or come up with a new name. You always recreate yourself. And it seems like you can never quite stamp out this infestation of lying. So I'm doubtful that this is really going to work when it comes to shutting up Candace Owens. And the result, unfortunately, is now here I'm talking about, and I'm trying to debunk it, but here I am talking about Brigitte Macron, the allegations of her being a man. The other question I have for Macron is, all right, if this is going to go to a lawsuit, do you really want to have to go from France to the United States for a court? Are there going to be depositions? Is the first lady going to have to take a DNA test? It just seems to get messier and messier and messier. And sometimes the best thing to do is to just ignore the nonsense. And certainly, I think any fair-minded observer could easily conclude not just this story, but pretty much anything out of Candace Owens' mouth is complete, utter nonsense.